Thank you very much, Shocks. Now, unlike Dan Din, we would love to be used. I'm glad we're casting this game for you guys. Dan is in the back.
Don't use me, bro.
All right. I will be used
As
for this
Reggie would
casting. Excuse me, bro. Yes, dude, come on. Now, guys, it's time for Game 2 in this third-place showdown between Dignitas and Vulcun. And now with one more win, ManCloud and crew not only take the bronze medal, they lock down that third and final North American spot in the Season 3 World Championship. And now, even after a disappointing semifinal showdown against TSM, they rebounded, they were able to stand united, and they took control of Game 1.
Yeah, we talked about Psycho Sid's success against Dignitas in the pregame, and he came big. He came up big today again. He used his global to gank early and save mandatory Cloud. So when you have one global, it's great because you can help out your team. When you have two, it's amazing because you can help out each other, and both of them saved each other very often. As for our featured matchup, round 1 definitely went to Smithy. Crumbs gave Smithy the Blind Monk, and he used Lee Sin to kick Dignitas all over the map. It's actually a very good pick against Evelyn specifically, because 2 of his abilities will reveal her in stealth, despite him being blind. Meanwhile, Crumbs struggled on Evelyn pretty much the whole time.
And couldn't quite get anything going, so Dignitas going to have to go and regroup, and as we said, they do have a deep repertoire of strategies. Dignitas has they have kind of one main style, which is to kind of split people up and do a bunch of crazy things, but they have generally speaking, a pretty good champion pool. They know how to play this game. They've been around for a long time, and there's other backup things that they can fall to, switch up their picks and bans, do something a little bit different, and you're seeing that right away. Twisted Fate dropped away, saying, all right, we'll do something new we're going for.
Yeah, so they at least want to break up that combo. Psycho Sid and Mandatory Cloud just performed that way too well for them to give him another chance at it. Meanwhile, they still want to take out the Zed. It's one of Mandatory Cloud's favorites. He loves being on split pushing assassins, loves to be the one with the most gold on his team. The way that you get that is being the split pusher. Got to take those champions away from him.
Now Vulcan's got to make some decisions because they said, okay, you did remove the Zed, so you're still kind of banning out Scar a little bit, and they're still dropping the Sona. And to me, Sona is actually one of the best laners against Zyra, and that actually signaled to me, oh, they're going back for the Ashe-Zyra combo. And I want to think that actually holds true here because, again, they're banning out sort of one of their own champions.
It's an interesting ban because everybody knows Bloodwater's favorite champion is Sona, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have very strong skills on several other of the supports.
Sure.
And it does mean that Vulcun are looking like they are maybe going with a similar strategy here. Now both of actually all 3 that were used in the last game. So we won't see anything like what we had before. The Karthus sitting in mid sort of mailing it in with just the Requiem damage, whereas Mandatory Cloud actually showed up in person to do work.
Yeah.
This time around, we're going to have Zach, though, on Kiwi Kid, and you know he's happy about that.
Absolutely. That was a very easy first pick there for Dignitas. He said, oh, you gave us that? That's all kinds of wonderful. More mid lane bans. It's funny because, I mean, Dignitas now have banned out 2 Skara champions here. Just to try to remove some of the options here from ManCloud and getting rid of one of those big 5v5 team fight guys here. So now Vulcun, they have that Ashe-Zyra if they want it. They have those options available. The Ahri also an option here if they want to go for this one as well. Instead, though, they do, looks like they go for the Zyra here, but also taking away some of the junglers that Crumbs could take, leaving him Evelyn and Lee Sin, though.
Well, it's interesting because Vulcun leave up this Zac. And whenever you leave up Zac, the other team has first pick. You usually assume that they're going to grab that unless you're going up against like TSM. So it'll be interesting to see what they want to lane against Zac. Cloud9 gave up Zac. They didn't care. Gave him first pick. They took Vladimir to lane against Zac. And Vladimir had a huge impact on the game. Whereas Zac at late game did not have the effect that they were looking for. So really, it looks like Vulcun yet again going with a similar champion pick to Cloud9 here, taking the Vladimir up against Zac. It worked out so well for Balls yesterday in that matchup. Even with Zac getting first blood, he was able to shove that lane. He got a giant CS lead, become an unstoppable force, and a huge source of damage.
Yeah, he went Void Staff and Death Cap after the Sork Shoes in the Spirit of the Spectral Ray, so he was huge damage output. What I'm a little bit concerned about here, though, is Vulcun. I mean, we'll see. I don't want to give too much credence to this, but
talk about globals.
Yeah, right. But so with Vulcun getting that split push in there from Vladimir, you've got a heavy engage comp from Dignitas. The Ashe Arrow, the Gragas, the Zac, the Evelyn flank. if Smithy or Psycho Sid's off on the side, being Vladimir, Dignitas has a huge 5-man ball that can jump in and ruin people's day.
Yeah, they can easily go for a turret dive because they've locked in Gragas as well. You can knock someone even away from the turret, allowing Kiwi Kid to go in and sort of cut off the rest of the team. With the Ash Arrow as well, they can pick any fight. It doesn't have to be a 5 vs 4 engage. They can also pick off the split pusher. Yep. Vladimir, though, very slippery, as Psycho Sid, like many other Vladimirs, will run a Ghost Flash and can also turn into a pool of blood on the ground, which is hard to hit with an arrow.
Pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
You can't freeze blood.
In our game, it is impossible, technically.
It's possible to freeze blood in our game, but here we go. The last pick coming through, and ManCloud has Ari. So it was one of the bans from game 1. It slips through here, and Vulcun are happy to pick this one up. So very much another 5v5 team comp here for Dignitas. Vulcun still wanted to split things up, but this time without the globals, I imagine it's going to be a bit harder for Vulcun to make that same success happen here.
It's definitely, you know, Dignitas have the tools to choose the engages here. They have to be very careful, though, about Mandatory Cloud on Ari. Talked about him loving those assassins, and there's a reason for it. He always seems to find the perfect positioning to pull off the assassination and get away. So Cutie Pie on that Ashe is going to have to be very careful because that is a very immobile AD, and his style that he loves to go back into is like an Ezreal who always has an extra jump in his back pocket. Absolutely. But Ashe going to be very vulnerable to that Ari.
Nice. So Cutie Pie looking for that fluid cutting play style, might not get it. Slows don't really hurt dashes here, only if you can kind of actually stun arrow there. So once again, ManCloud, the deadliest player in the LCS, the most kills of any player in North America or Europe. He's going to look to keep that going here on Ari, whose specialty is just killing things. Of course, the Caitlyn had come through for Zuna, so he's going to have some team fight consistency here. But it's got to be on Dignitas now. The 5v5 team comp coming through again. It didn't work in game 1. They switched up their strategies, their picks and bans a little bit here in game 2, but Dignitas now must win this game to keep their hopes of the Season 3 World Championship alive. Meanwhile, Vulcun, 1-0. One of the favorites, honestly, coming into this one in general. A lot of people would be surprised if they don't win this series, but they've got to keep it up now with a new composition in game 2.
Now, what Dignitas have kept is that Evelynn from game 1, and that actually is a strong champion for fighting against split pushing, whether it be Ari or Vladimir, because you won't be able to ward up enough pink wards to make your split push safe no matter how many you buy. You would have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to be able to split push very deep and have a full line of pink wards protecting you. So Crumbs will be able to find targets that are isolated. It's just up to Vulcun to make Dignitas pay for their commitment of resources to those solo lanes.
Well, we'll see if they can do it, because all the lanes that Crumbs can gank have great crowd control. Gank for Kiwi Kid, great, he's zapped. You gank for Skara, body slam, wonderful. You gank for Cutie Pie and Patoy,
that's
yeah,
scarier.
pretty easy kills there. So basically, yeah, Crumbs is set up for success here. And so as you said, can Vulcun make them pay for that spending of resources? And that's going to be the thing we watch for here. How well does Smithy gank? He's Jarvan, he can get past wards. How well does Crumbs gank? He's invisible, he can get past wards. Gonna be a lot about how they can get this game going forward, because if you snowball ahead, just dive turrets, go Cloud9 it, and kill the game in 28 minutes. If you get ahead with your Vladimir, though, you split the team up just like last game, and Dignitas doesn't have a 5v5 to fight.
That Zyra is going to make it a little bit more difficult to dive turrets for Dignitas, but like we said, they have so many ways to split up a team that's under a turret that they could still pull it off, even through a Stranglethorns.
I believe it. If there's anyone who can do that, it's Skara with his Gragas, one of his most famous champions. Something that was drawing bans throughout almost the entire spring split. That's been loosened up a little bit here in the summer, and he's got to bring it back, and it's been successful for him.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? This week here at PAX, Skara's gotten to play a lot of his old champions that were banned out constantly during the LCS. He played Diana before, and now he's back on the Gragas. These are very, very comfort champions for Skara. Now that he's increased his champion pool, people have given up on banning him out. So just by doing that, he's actually freed himself up to go back to his favorite champions.
And it's going to be a good thing for Dignitas, whereas it has been so far. They're here fighting for that final spot. But look at these movements by both teams. Vulcun realizing that Kiwi Kid wanted these wolves, and Bloodwater's going to stop him here. Of course, the 2v1 top lane. Bloodwater getting him. There we go. 8 gold for Bloodwater and the blue buff steal. Of course, Crumbs read the same thing and said, okay, you're stealing my blue, I'll steal yours. So both junglers actually holding pretty equal. And Kiwi Kid did not get to sneak any extra experience or gold.
Psycho Sid, meanwhile, was sneaky. He got in the bush there, barely in creep wave experience range. It looks like we have the first gank from Crumbs, and remember, he's got Ignite.
And ManCloud already has lost his flash. Smithy going for the counter gank. Scar jumps over the wall, though. There's the first blood already picked up. Smithy's got nowhere to go fast. Crumbs losing some health, but now the knockback is the flash. Smithy, red buff, E gets the damage, and there's the exhaust from Bloodwater. Skara does not have flash. He doesn't have mana either. Skara has nowhere to go. This could get turned around. Another Q comes out. Smithy waiting on that blue buff regen. There's the knockup. There's the kill. 2-0 Smithy.
The 2 Ignites there, one after the other for Dignitas, got them the first blood. But because of the rotation, because there's an AD and support up top, Bloodwater was free to join the party, and they could turn it around, make that a 2-for-1. Very nice job, especially by Bloodwater immediately coming down that river to help out Crumbs. Because after that checked auto attack, wasn't quite sure if he was going to be able to finish off Skara.
And just compare what's happened now in those 2v1 lanes. So Bloodwater left his lane twice to help the blue buff and to go help the mid lane. And look how much damage Kiwi Kid took from Zuna in the process. No health left. Kiwi.
He's sticking around here.
I don't know if
He's
he
got
should.
cell division, but still, you don't want to use that.
It's not the hardest thing to kill. But we'll see if he can hold on right here. Crumbs going again for the gank onto ManCloud, but Scar could not land anything. Are you serious? That charm barely snuck by the minions. Kiwi down to 120 health, trying to sustain back up. And I guess he's holding on, but Psycho Sid, 7 minions. He's not had to be zoned up from his turret at all, holding on pretty steadily. And Zuna getting some work on that turret.
Bottom lane, too, is doing decently on the turret.
Oh, wow, that's actually lower than I thought. Okay.
But, yeah, Psycho Sid at least has been able to stay in there for experience. You know, Vladimir, very early on, has a really tough time clearing waves. So as we've seen him before, when he's in a 2-versus-1 situation, even with new armor on the turrets, his turret usually goes down very early.
But the first recall went to Kiwi Kid. So these turrets both will survive this wave, though maybe not the next.
Oh, Crumb's going mid again. He's getting into position, but there's a pink ward for Mandatory Cloud this time, so we can see how much of Crumb's time he can waste.
Might be able to waste a good amount of it. There's this turret getting lower and lower. Zuna's trying to harass. Nice knockup actually from Kiwi, but there we go. Turret goes down. Zuna, does he have a trap? He does. Kiwi. He locks off one of the escape routes, and there's the route. Kiwi doesn't have anywhere to go. Can he go anywhere? There's a trap right there in front of him. They're not fighting
him. The minions are helping out Kiwi so much right now.
Kiwi's minions. MVP right there, keeping him alive. That was still a 2v2. Yeah.
That's a cheer for the minions, by the way. That
hey, man.
Round of applause.
They don't deserve enough credit. Shout out to the guy who put the video of me being sad about minions getting slaughtered for gold. There's minions being an MVP for the early game right here. So good job to these guys. Keeping Dignitas up. And the recall comes back now. The dual lane has already taken the turret down on Vulcan's side. And look at Smithy. He's defending the turret that's still standing on this bottom lane for Vulcan. There's a chance this turret does not go down.
A Vladimir Jarvan lane, pre-level 6 there, not the scariest thing. So Cutie Pie and Patoy are still going to stay here and CS. They'll just wait around until one of them recalls, because it's only really a matter of time before they can take this bottom turret.
The dual lane is shown back up, though, and look at that.
Ooh.
Zuna and Bloodwater are there to defend this. Vulcan got one turret for nothing, but there comes the regank. Their Mandatory Cloud does not have many places to go. Down to half HP, but still Scar could not land the body slam, and he's still not level 6, so couldn't cask ManCloud back either. And the flash, I want to see if the flash comes up before or after Gragas hits 6, because that's going to mean a lot here.
Smithy, really good job here. Following Crumbs to the jungle.
Wow, 120 health left there, but the Q was still going to be on cooldown. He didn't flash for it. Didn't have flash, okay. Still didn't flash for it. Couldn't, but didn't.
That's why it's one of the worst things here. Junglers hate showing themselves in lane. Although every time Crumbs does visit mid lane, he gets some harass on the Mandatory Cloud. He hasn't been able to capitalize on it pre-6, and now Mandatory Cloud's got Spirit Rush. This dragon fight, so far, it's looking like it will be a 4-on-4 if Dignitas actually make the move in.
And Crumbs is not nearby.
Oh, Q-Kid wants to go.
And the fight's going to come in. There we go. Red team picks up Dragon. Exhaust on a Cutie Pie early on. Zuna knocked around. Skara has no mana right now, though. The knockback, though. There's a chase onto the Zyra in the top right. Smithy does go down, but they're going to trade Skara back. Zuna falls over. Crumbs gets one. Okay, wow, that shield would have saved Skara if it came out a quarter second earlier. That fight actually going 3-1 for Dignitas as payment for a Dragon. That is equal.
3 for 1 plus Dragon, but Psycho Sid free farming. Oh, it's going to be 4 for 1 for Toy!
The bloodthirsty support. Doa is happy about that one. Patoy, by the way, the kill-stealingest support in the North American LCS. 13% of kills he's a part of, he gets the last hit. Highest of any support in North America.
There's a couple schools of thought on that one.
Securingest
there
support
you go.
in North America.
There you go.
Secures more kills than Big Fat LP, actually. The only jungler to be under a support.
All right, we are going to have a confrontation around the blue. That's just a delay, and Zuna gets it. He's also chasing.
Now he's level 6, but doesn't have the same CC as Ashe. Cutie Pie out of mana, though. No more volleys. There's a knockup. Gets them both. Who do they go for? Hemo Plague onto the 2 of them. Patoy gets a flay backwards. They got to pick one. Zuna does not get the ult off in time before losing vision. Patoy really doesn't have anywhere to go. Zuna picks up the kill. Nice job right there. Gets the blue. Skara. Oh yeah, the blue got taken. He's not wearing blue buff. Oh no, he is. I'm just silly. All right, so Skara got his blue buff. Secures it, goes back to the lane. But this bottom lane super getting pushed out. That turret, of course, still alive back behind them. And this could be 2-0 in turrets for Vulcun.
They are able to answer this one. There's nothing that's going to be able to shove them off. Cutie Pie is extremely far away right now, and without the Crystal Arrow, he can't even go up to fight them right now. There's also no vision here. If Smithy cancels, he doesn't cancel his recall.
Okay, so he's just going to go back. No kill picked up. Yeah, they could have just like, surprise, Cutie Pie. But no, it's going to be the level 6 mid laners. Actually, level 7 now. Spirit Rush.
Assist.
Oh, and Kiwi Kid too. He's going to go over the wall. Mancloud, there's the shadow. Gets him. Let's Bounce comes across. Still trying to dash away his Mancloud. Dodges the charm. The knockup flashed away. Kiwi Kid not going to get Cutie either. The Cataclysm, though, onto 2.
Oh,
Kiwi
no, hit him,
has
Kiwi!
nothing to do. No, he gets splattered into little bloblets now. But the Evelyn's going to re-engage. Crumbs trying to keep his team alive. But Zuna shows up. Goodbye, Zuna. Another kill here. That's a 3 or 2 for him right there, actually. Charm does not land on a Crumbs. Smithy is low. He's got to run back. Crumbs gets rooted in place. Finds the kill. Will he get traded back? No! Does not get taken down. Despite everything, just a 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, Smithy trying to bait in Crumbs there, but he didn't have enough life to bait with, and he went down himself. Now, the Kiwi Kid there, when you're trapped inside the Cataclysm in tower range, and the turret's already shooting the minions, don't attack the enemy, because it will change targets.
Should have hit S.
Yes.
He's right next to it on the keyboard.
He was getting bored standing there in that Cataclysm. Wanted to get something going.
Did some damage, but unfortunately lost the passive as well as the kill. But we're now watching Cycles. We have not seen him much this game, but 59 minions puts him well above Kiwi Kid. The Revolver already done. He's got to have a good amount of money. 800 right here.
Bloodwater setting up a trap in the bushes.
Oh, woo. Good response right there. He saw that just in time.
Fade away ward kill. Fade away ward kill gets no clapping, but all these random...
They wooed!
Okay,
they wooed for it.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't even encourage that. I shouldn't encourage that.
You're a bad influence, Kobe. All right. Cutie Pie putting the Hawkshot down. He does not have wards covering him very much, but he's going to take up some farm. This wave cannot be frozen, though, not even by Ashe. There's too many minions there. It's going to be Zuna picking up some... Yeah, grown for that one.
That was grown.
That was pretty good, though. Come on, I'm proud of that one.
All right, so Vulcun are going to continue with their 3-lane pushing here, even though they've already taken 2 turrets. So what they have to do is shore up all this jungle Fog of War with a bunch of vision wards. They've done a decent job getting halfway in there. At least Psycho Sid by himself has got that pink ward at blue, so he can continue to double
kill.
And by the way, in the Vladimir versus Zac matchup, he's a bit ahead, but this is really the point where he starts turning it up another notch, and he will continue to increase that lead as the game goes on. He's got his spell vamp and he's got his magic resistance. So there's really no way that Kiwi Kid can force Psycho Sid back right now.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, because I thought he was going to recall for the actual Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, but he said, no, I'm going to sit at Revolver. He went the Magic Resist route. And you said, again, this Negatron Cloak keeps him from being bullied around, but he could have completed a different item and went this way instead. I just find that interesting, and I want to see how that pans out, of course. 14 minion kill lead. We'll track that margin as it goes on throughout the game. Up, of course, in front of Kiwi Kid's turrets.
Now,
bit slow.
It's a good job here by Vulcun playing defensive in that bottom lane because, like I said, they would have to spend so much to cover the whole map in pink wards. They haven't done it. There's a flash into the arrow. No,
Zuna, that was not a good flash. He's going to get rooted up. Oh my gosh, Zuna over the wall. Lantern reveals it. Flash in. Kill picked up by Cutie Pie. Nice job, Dignitas. Whoopsies by Zuna. The jump in actually onto Kiwi. He should not have his ulti or his pass is still available, but goes for the Let's Bounce. Does grant movement speed. It allows him to get out of that encounter. But of course, now there's complete control over that secondary turret.
Yep. He's definitely king of the hill over here on the top lane. Skara, though, he wants to come knock him off the hill.
See if he can do it.
Just kidding.
Nope.
He's got Jarvan.
He's got Jarvan, who's already planted the flag in it. We're good. See, there you go. Plants the flag. That's their hill.
All right, but they are trading this for secondary turrets up top.
Ooh, turret is...
Good wave clear there.
Yeah. That's going to be actually a good turret trade. Dignitas getting the better of that one, despite the early dive. But oh no, mid lane's going down. Vulcan's going to make that 3-2. But Dignitas just got 2 turrets in a row on that side of the map. That is now their side of the map, basically. Vulcan trading now, getting all 3 outer turrets. But interesting landscape now.
Smithy just decides to go in.
Gets the knock up. That turret very, very
One
low.
slap.
The 2 of them. He should be able to grab that now. There's no Skara.
This is going to open up a 3 versus 4 by Dragon, though.
Look at the damage onto Crumbs, though. Has been exhausted. One more attack to go. ManCloud finds 1 for nothing. The turret had gone down. Now I'm a Cutie Pie a little bit alone. Gets a Lantern. Really go for it. Still fighting for now. He's got a Scar off to the side. ManCloud gets hit. He's going to get over the wall, though. Cutie Pie very low HP. Blocked by Patoy. Good support right there. Thank you, Patoy. And Sid, though, on the steal with Blue. A lot happening all the time between these 2 teams.
So dangerous to get near an Ahri like that. Crumbs paid for it with his life because most jungle Evelyns and Crumbs himself building the Spirit of the Elder Lizard first, which does not afford any defense. He's also got spell penetration, so he relies on his ultimate for the defense, which just comes in the form of that shield. But if you only hit 1 person with your ultimate, the shield is extremely small. Evelyn thrives in team fights where with multiple people being hit by her ulti, she gets a giant shield.
So Crumbs did fall down, and of course the blue buff, not blue buff, sorry. Well, the blue buff was stolen by Sid, but yeah, the dragon. He's kind of orangey. The orange buff, it's gold. Maybe it's a gold buff. That makes sense. Skara, though, holding up the mid lane. Smithy, actually, so for what it's worth, we talked about that jungle matchup from last time. Crumbs, 3-2-2, is having a better game than Smithy now. He's had a couple... He's been part of 1 more kill there. You can see Dignitas are actually up in kills. The advantage for Vulcan is actually in objectives. The fact that they had been getting dragons, the fact they are getting more turrets. That's where the lead is here for Vulcan. But you've seen the fighting still be great for Dig.
It's also in their fed Vladimir. He's very powerful. He has gotten that Spectral Wraith item that you were talking about, which just makes his sustain skyrocket. So they're going to have to choose a different member to try and stop that Vladimir. It doesn't look like they actually even have someone. They're going to have to use 2 people if they want to stop him. So this is the point where Dignitas decide, do we go for the single or do we go for the 4-man? If they actually group up as 5 and start that dive ideology.
Yeah.
Looks like the rotation is going to be to just cut off Vladimir before he even gets started, though. Flash and Ghost. Well, Flash available. Ghost has got 15 seconds left.
Yeah, not much to go. And of course, Dignitas, though, going to find their 3rd turret here. That makes that 2 outer turrets brought down. A pink ward does reveal Crumbs off to the side. So Vulcan are aware of how many threats are down there. So the dual lane of Vulcan are going to take the bottom lane with no one stopping them. And Cyclos is going to run interference while this split push goes
This
through.
is the point of having this super strong split pusher. Even if you send 3 people up top, it affords the rest of the map to Vulcan.
Can they jump in onto Crumbs? The arrow's not going to land. They're knocked away.
Oh!
Good flashes get ManCloud out as well. Charm onto Skara. They're not going to go in for anything more than just a little bit of damage, but Zuna and Bloodwater have been left alone on the bottom side of the map.
Look
They're
at
going to
Psycho
take
Sid.
that turret down. Kiwi jumps in. Goodbye. And now Smithy going to jump across as well. Now into the bottom of the base. Zuna and Bloodwater still not being stopped. Even a plant for support takes a turret shot there. But there is Cutie Pie. He's going to keep them away.
3 members of Dig getting caught here. Psycho Sid now is going to have to fight 3 at once. In comes Smithy.
2v3, the blood just going across. Can they bring Kiwi Kid down? No! Skara turning that around. Kill picked up. Sid forced to escape. They have to get it back, though the Thresh did get picked off, but Toy fell over to the Zuna ultimate. So 1 for 1 onto this one. ManCloud had fallen a little while ago. Now Skara might get cut off. Zuna and the rest of the crew still pushing up this mid lane. That secondary turret is available, but there's no minions to help that push. Still no further progress for Vulcun yet.
That was a very good series of events for Dignitas right there. They made Vulcun pay for splitting up, and they caught out 2 members. Were able to get a little bit of gold back, but they were also able to stop the Caitlyn Zyra sort of rampage that was going on down bottom, where they were just running through turrets, and they'd gotten all the way to the inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they got stopped a little bit late. Ultimately, you know, the 4-on-1 dive, or the team fight choice by Dignitas just didn't quite work that time. I think they got the worst end of that one. And here is Dignitas back to the bottom lane. Cutie Pie trying to scale up, 120 minions on him. Bloodthirster and most of a static Shiv already done for Zuna. I had still not done for Cutie Pie, so he is falling behind the AD carry race. 5,900 to 6,800 gold there. The mid laners, 1,000 gold apart. The junglers equal. And that was our featured matchup, so Crumbs is holding on despite everything.
Patoy with a rare miss on both of his spells right there. Flays the ward.
Doesn't hit wards. Yeah.
Doesn't do any damage to wards, though.
But he's going to sweep this out, and Pink Ward goes down.
So now, Vladimir doesn't have his Ghost or Flash. It'll take him a long time to walk over here. And again, Dignitas are faced with the opportunity to go for a 5-man dive.
Goodbye, man. Are you serious? Wow. ManCloud does not die. Goodbye, Kiwi Kid. And Dignitas, they might stay for the turret. They get that. There's the flash out from Cutie. But here is Psycho Sid finally. Forced a barrier. He's going to be okay. There's 1 kill picked up. Patoy, a good pull onto Sid. Does fall down, though. Psycho Sid making that rotate happen. Advantage goes to Vulcun.
Dignitas didn't all jump in for that dive. And like we said, it's going to take Psycho Sid a while to walk down, but he's going to walk down. There is a timer on you guys. You can't just stay under that turret. Even though they took 1, they lost 3 members, which is actually going to give up control of this Baron area.
Well, Dignitas does know this is happening. They're going to move toward this. Smithy taking it up. Actually, only down a half HP. Vulcun not getting this all that fast. And Skara, not yet with his ultimate, does have his Q out there. Zuna barriers a little early. Smithy, though, lost all his health. He can't tank this anymore. Bloodwater's going to take damage. Crumbs is here as well. This could be good for Dignitas. ManCloud picks up Skara, though. The health bar getting lower and lower. Zuna helps zoning out. Bloodwater and Smithy staying with this one. Crumbs falls over. No smite left for Dignitas. And that is the Baron picked up. Well played by Vulcun. Another 2 for nothing and Baron.
The entire team of Vulcun there running defense for the support and blinking red jungler to finish off Baron. They were able to keep Dignitas out of the Baron pit, so they didn't have vision, and they couldn't jump in. Very good.
But Dignitas already on the counterattack. They need to keep their playoff hopes, their world championship hopes alive. They're only down 3 kills. If they get this turret, they tie up the turret game. That puts them equal in a couple of these categories that matter. But they're just down a little bit of gold. The initiation on the Kiwi Kid. This might be too much for that poor blob man. He's trying to get out, has a lantern, doesn't go for it. Vulcun is still running forward. Sid has ghosted, but does not have any crowd control to lend. The knockup not quite landing for Smithy. Does have Cataclysm, though. Ash Arrow comes across, blocked by the Cataclysm cask. Amazing use of mechanics right there. ManCloud stealing away the blue buff as well. And Vulcun saying, no, we want this to be a 2-0.
Yeah, overextended to get that turret right there. Vulcun definitely not giving up the chase. Great job by Smithy. Able to land the slow there, and they were finishing off Kiwi Kid, but now it means that Vulcun really have full reign over this map. They've got the Baron buff, and they have 2 split pushers. Mandatory Cloud is a fearsome opponent at this point. He's got his death cap, and he has his blue buff with his ulti available. Means he can duel anyone just as well as Psycho Sid can.
Crumbs, this is not a good place for you to be in. Low on health, but at least he gets out. But yeah, you're seeing the power of Vulcun. They're catching things. They're starting to get farther and farther ahead. They're snowballing this lead that they said was so important for them. And it's just the rest of Dignitas, like last game, looking to scrape together gold. Now they're in, I think, a better standing than last time. They've done better with turrets. They're very close in kills. Crumbs has been a very effective team fighter, and there's only so much pushing still available for Vulcun. I feel like there's a chance for Dig, but they have to make this stand this game.
Yeah, there was a very close chance up at that Baron for Skara to steal it. He's stolen Barons before with the Gragas dual barrel combo, and that's why Vulcun sent so many members out of the Baron pit, stopped DPSing it to fend off all of the Dignitas threats.
The jump comes in, they find Bloodwater. Asher does not quite land, but Vulcun are on the retreat. Psycho Sid, though, still in the bottom. Not the faster turret takedowner, as something like what Rivington said. He had a better quote than I did. But Sid, though, is taking this one down to half HP right now. And there are 2 members of Dignitas. They've been sent to stop him, so another kill picked up. But Vulcun still pressing the map. Nice play, almost used, but Cataclysm is going to stop that from knocking him back right there. But the disengage still forced away from Vulcun. Dignitas still holding onto their base.
Even though Dignitas took out 1 member of Vulcun and they have the man advantage, they still had to retreat immediately after that because of the power of the split push here from Vulcun. This Vladimir in the bottom lane is just an immobile, sustained bot that takes multiple people to stop him here.
And he's just taking the double golems right now, getting himself farther ahead before he waits for that next minion wave. So Sid not only has pushing on his mind, but income, 189. He's now 67 minions above Kiwi, who to his credit has been used to initiate a lot of fights. But you're seeing the minion farm. Look at this, 189 on Vlad, 176 on Ahri, 191 on Caitlyn. Everyone on Vulcun down the line, including the support, are outlast hitting their counterparts on Dignitas. So that's the other major objective that they're winning on, is not just Dragons, not Barons, but just farm in general. The gold lead, 8,000 here. Vulcun playing with quite an advantage.
Yeah, we are closing in on that point where it slows down a bit, though, for a split-pushing team that doesn't have a very strong dive option. They're looking to just pick somebody out. So if Vulcun can't pick someone at this point, it'll be a little bit slower working their ways in towards the inhibitor turrets. They do have Caitlyn for tower pushing, but it isn't going to be quite as quick paced as it has been to this point. Only 24 minutes in, and Vulcun already have amassed a huge lead. It's pretty much going to stick around that similar amount of gold for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I believe, let's track that, 9,000. We'll see where the number goes from here, 8.5, what have you. But Dignitas playing the defense pretty strongly here. Ash Arrow comes in. It finds Smithy, but Toy goes for the pull, but that is the tank on the team. They don't want to spend too much onto him, but now Digger getting split up. PewDiePie forced to flash. Barrow comes back, knocks back Vulcun, but doesn't still find the engage. There's Patoy getting the flay across. Good escape there from Zuna, fighting now with Crumbs. Smithy going to show it for this one. Crumbs will go down in that fight, a 1-for-0 so far. Kiwika does not find any openings either. Getting rooted up, he's going to go down thanks to the DFG, and the turret goes down. This has been a 4v5 fight the entire time, and it's going to be a battle won by Vulcun. 2 kills for nothing. The inhibitor now getting hit as well. This could mean the World Championships now for Vulcun.
Yeah, Dignitas trying to engage there, thinking they could take advantage of that extra man, but not able to pull it off. Crumbs tries to solo Zuna in the backline, and because he doesn't get a multiple person hit with his ultimate, he doesn't have the shields to back it up. He has no tankiness, and he goes down.
Well, it's going to be more pressure still from Vulcun. No Baron buff regen, no real sustain at all, but Sid now not in a good place. 1v3, still hitting the inhibitor, puts the blood pool down, and there it goes. Another inhib has fallen, mid lane dropped already. Now Vulcun on the retreat, amazing barrel though, catches Smithy and Suna. PewDiePie in a battle, 1v2, he's getting focused down. There comes Kiwi Kid. Can Dignitas turn any kills around? They find Smithy, Psycho sits in the front lines though, damage onto Skara, ghosting away.
That's why you take Flash and Ghost for Vladimir. Beautiful Zanyas into a flash out of the second barrel. They're still chasing him though, but Toy doesn't want him to get away with that move.
And Psycho Sid finds one. He might find Skara as well. A little bit of damage, gets the double kill. Psycho Sid 1v2. Chase comes in, dodges Kiwi Kid. Does go down though, but that's still a number of kills.
Mission complete. They took him down. Target down. They finished him off. They got the Vladimir. That's a moral victory for Dignitas. This is just going to be the Zanyas from Psycho Sid. We want to show that one in slow-mo just to show how quick Psycho Sid was with a nice flash after that to dodge the second barrel, by the way, and then re-initiating with the Ghost. to get the area of effect damage down with Vladimir and the extra sustain from those few spells. Here's the point where Patoy says, you're not getting away with that play. Your ghost is about to run out. We can chase you down, but he's such a fed Vladimir. You forget about the damage that he puts out. It's not just the amount that he heals, it's the amount that he deals.
Yeah. Healer and dealer. Vulcan moving forward. They're going to find Patoy. Patoy getting rooted up. And, oh, he gets over to the wall, but still has nowhere to go. He flashes. Patoy making the miracle escape right here. Beautiful stuff.
All right, so at least they still got some nice plays in there. Patoy with a very nice escape. Only thing is, what he was trying to accomplish before he got caught and was forced to run away for his life was to get vision on Baron. He didn't accomplish that before he had to run away, so it means that Vulcan easily able to pick this one up, and having 2 inhibitors down means that this will be a fairly pointed push that they're going to have here on the top lane.
Unfortunate mission failed there for Patoy. Does result in the second Baron of Vulcan. As you said, 2 inhibs down and a Baron buff means, hey, look, the top lane. Let's close it out good. Now, Dragon does go over to Crump, so some gold there for his team. At least finds some kind of major objective to grab. Only 3 Dragons this game. It's actually been pretty short. 28 minutes is a pretty short game, and there is Vulcan moving in. Amazing barrel right there, but Psycho Sid heals almost as much as he deals, is not going down. Push now in towards the inhibitor. Psycho Sid's still healthy, and there's the engage. Looks for Patoy, has to back out. Now Cutie Pie taking a bunch of pain. He will drop down. 1 for nothing. He would get forced back. Crumbs gets caught, has nowhere to go. He's gonna fall as well. Down to the fountain is another kill picked up there by Psycho Sid. This makes it 3 for nothing. Baron buff, no inhibitors. Vulcan gonna close out game 2 and join TSM and Cloud9 as the North American representatives in the Season 3 World Championship.
They've only got a couple Nexus turrets and 1 Thresh to deal with. Oh! Got him.
Yeah, that's going to be in style. The game going. Congratulations to Vulcan, bouncing back from their semifinal loss. And there's the smiles on their faces.
They're going to Worlds for the first time here. This is a team that has never gone. TSM are used to it.
Still just like the first time.
Fucking Smithy, dude. I played like Axe. That was their strat. Oh, dude, I don't even care.
I think he misplaced his head on that hug right there and like headbutted his brother real quick.
They can celebrate however they want. Very, very nice series from Vulcan.
Yeah,
takes a quick 2-0 sweep.
Both of these guys, a 2-0 win, and there is Skara, unfortunately, not making it here with his Dignitas teammates for Season 3.
This is heartbreaking here for Team Dig.
Still smiles like you see Cutie Pie right there, grinning, saying, well played, guys, you deserved it. And it's one thing I've actually seen from these teams. When you ask the players, when you ask them, who do you want to play, or who deserved to win more, they say, you know, may the best team win. I don't care who I face in the finals. Whoever wins deserved it. We'll see them there. You saw Doublelift, who posted about his team's sort of unfortunate circumstance. They had gone in Season 1, CLG had gone in Season 2, didn't go in Season 3. And he said, you know what? But TSM played better than us. They deserved it. They were on point. They deserved it there. Vulcan, on point. They deserved it there.
Snoopy said it. Doublelift said it. The players are behind the strongest team for their region.
Yeah.
Everyone has so much pride in just the region that they play League of Legends on, that they want the strongest teams to go. And so even if they aren't the ones that get to go to Worlds, they're happy for the winners.
And it was proven throughout the season. Seeds 1, 2, and 3 all made it to the World Championship. And of course, we still have the grand final game to go to the BO5 to see who gets that bye into the quarterfinals as well. And we're going to see that play out later today. But that's going to do it for us for this series. Let's send it over to Jat and Riv for a look at the highlights from Vulcan's Game 2 win.
Thank you very much, guys. Commiserations and congratulations, respectively, for both teams. It was a well-played matchup, but throughout the splits, throughout what Vulcan has shown, they are a team based on momentum, and they continued to carry that from the first win in Game 1.
Yeah, and Vulcan really came back strong from their loss yesterday against TSM. They won these 2 games in style. I'd say both games, they were in control pretty much from start to finish, and there were some plays by Vulcan. ManCloud, Psycho Sid, X-Smithy really turned it on. Those 3 in particular. So many moments in that game, too many to just go over and highlight, because the Zhonya's that they were throwing out on Vladimir, just all the flag tosses that were perfectly timed, dodging around, crowd control. And of course, ManCloud. We know what he does when they win.
They continuously did the same strategy now with different champions. Continued to go for that split push in the top lane. The Vladimir worked out well for them again. We saw that he is not too well at the turrets, but he will force that lane down. Then, after pooling, getting multiple kills, as a Vlad should, Psycho Sid came up big, but namely everybody came up big. And we have to mention again, Smithy. Starting this game off right. If we pull the clip up and put it on your screen, you can see just how this game started on the right foot for Vulcun.
And this was just a miraculous outplay by Smithy and Vulcun in general. Let's just roll this clip at full speed, seeing how ManCloud gets kind of caught out in a 2v1. But he knows he has backup. Jarvan is coming. The way that Smithy went over the wall right as Scar came, even after the first blood, and now watch how Smithy dodges all the barrels and basically baits Crumbs into still going. He baits Scar far enough out, finishes off Crumbs in a way that he can fall back towards Bloodwater. Then he dodges yet another barrel from Skara, basically just schooling him in this early engagement. Smithy took these first 2 kills and really just made a statement for the rest of that game, showing that he was going to dodge everything and play his game.
Vulcun did not let up one bit. Dignitas had their work cut out for him. You can hear the crowd giving Vulcun a final cheer here before we get an interview with them. But really, it was absolutely something that they fought for wholeheartedly throughout the seasons.
Vulcun obviously has to go. The crowd is definitely ready for the next game as well, as we can hear them just coming on stage right now. But really, it's TSM setting up their stations. This is the team that beat Vulcun yesterday, by the way. And Vulcun looks so strong here against Dignitas. So really, I mean, we know we still have a whole bunch of League of Legends left. And North America does have some strong teams going to Worlds, with Vulcun now being the third.
Well, now Team Solo Mid coming in, the way we have been seeing them play, completely like they came out in Season 2, in the beginning of the Spring Split when they were the champions. I'm going to try to do it again.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a best of 5 that we're going to be having coming up between Cloud9 and TSM. You know, once again, great job to Vulcun, but look at these guys just already setting up, like, so much story is going to be coming into this Cloud9 versus TSM matchup that even as they're walking out on a stage, the fans, this is what they came for. This is the matchup that most people wanted to see in the finals.
And I can't imagine what they've been feeling today, watching all these games, seeing the gold sways up to 20,000 gold. Cloud9 had something like that on Dignitas the other day. So TSM definitely has some things to think about, which Cloud9 has been playing. What will they go for? Is the Ashe Zyra going to even be something that's on their mind? TSM is really the one that everybody's looking to make the move here, because Cloud9's been winning all season.
Yeah, and Cloud9's been winning all season against TSM as well. We know some of the picks and bans. The Ashe Zyra got played against TSM 3 times.
Right.
The Ashe Zyra was huge in the game we just saw between Vulcun and Dignitas, and I really think that TSM, if they want to attack Cloud9 at their core, which is the overall team fighting utility, they're going to be attacking those things. And let's see if they prepared.
We will have to see after this short break. When we return, Vulcun Zuna will join us to talk about making it to Worlds. And after that, it's the North American Championship match between Cloud9 and Team Solo Mid. Don't go anywhere. The North American LCS Regional Playoffs, live from PAX Prime. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the LCS Regional Playoffs, live from PAX Prime, as I'm joined by the World Championship bound Zuna from Team Vulcun. Tell me your first thoughts, because you guys clinched that final spot for World Playoffs.
It felt really good, you know. We weren't too excited because we did get knocked down, but against Dig, we already 4-0'd them in the season, so we knew if we played as bad as we did yesterday, we still would win. So we were really confident.
Fighting words. Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that. Normally see you very active and you win. Now you were kind of chill when you won. Why was that?
Because it was just to be expected, and beating Dig is probably the best feeling I can get, because it would have been nice to beat TSM and be in the finals, but I tried out top lane for Dig and they didn't want me, so now I knocked them out of Worlds. Feels great.
That must feel great. Now, tell me how you regrouped after yesterday's loss versus TSM.
We all cried for a little bit in the corner, and then we came back, and then we were just like, we played really bad yesterday, but today's a new day, and if we lose this game, I had to uninstall Puzzles and Dragons. So now that we won, we're probably going to waste like $100 each on it. So that's always good.
Tell me about that first game coming into that one. What was your general game plan?
Our general game plan was to get Shen because they're really bad against it, and then they gave it to us, and then we knew that they would pick up Evelyn. And Crumbs loves to run Ignite on Evelyn, so we had a full CC team with Ashe, Zyra, TF, and Shen. So every single team fight, he would just die instantly, and he could never even get on us because he didn't have Flash. So they fell into our picks, and then we had Globals. And then Cutie Pie, if he doesn't have Ezreal, he's not a threat on any other hero, so we just abused that fact.
You weren't afraid of Cutie Pie at all because he had a lot of CS in the first game as well.
Well, the thing is Graves, like, he probably had 150 more CS than me, but it's not like he can do anything. He couldn't attack anything. The only thing he can attack is Shen, and Shen probably had like 300 armor. So me hitting Karthus, Evelyn, and Kennen when he's only hitting a Shen, I'll kill all three of them before he kills Shen.
All right. And then going into game 2 where all the nerves gone, was just bringing home.
I felt like whoever won the first game pretty much won the whole thing. Because once you win that first game, the crowd's on your side, and the other team's demoralized, and it just felt great.
And you finished them off. And you won the game, of course. Now, tell me a little bit about your season in total, because you guys were top of the league, and then coming into this one and getting knocked down initially, how did you experience all that?
Well, all in all, we definitely we did what we came out to do, just make it to Worlds. Like, it sucks we got knocked down, but in the beginning of Spring Split, we were 0, and now we're hero, so it feels great.
So what can we expect from Vulcun as you go into those World Playoffs and face some hard competition?
I think we're just going to chill on other games for a bit. And then not just that, since I went 0 to hero, your boy's about to go fat to fit.
Okay, finally, some words for the fans out here that have been screaming your name when you came up on the stage.
Thanks for all the fans that was cheering for us.
Thank you very much, Zuna, and congratulations. Great performance. All right, now that's it.